All of my research on torture porn has pointed to the following two sources: David Edelstein's 2006 New York Magazine article, now playing at your local multiplex, Torture Porn, and Carol J. Clover's 1992 book, Men, Women, and Chainsaws, Gender in the Modern Horror Film. Edelstein is the journalist that coined the term torture porn, referring to the films like Hostel, The Devil's Rejects, Wolf Creek, and The Passion of the Christ. He brings up several theories as to why torture porn is popular, including retching up the stakes, making moviegoers feel something, creating a realistic depiction of a horrible event, empowerment, or a response to the photos from the Abu Ghraib tortures by American soldiers. Clover's book is known for defining the final female in horror films. She is the woman that ultimately outwits the killer. This concept translates to the torture porn subgenre of horror as well. Daniel Holland Earle's article, Torture Porn, Conceptualizing the Current Trend in Graphic Imagery, defines both torture and porn and applies these definitions to the subgenre in order to explain which films fall into this category. He states that torture porn is a direct response to the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. He theorizes that recording the torturing act, abjection of the human body, and the visual representation of human pain and suffering are all key elements in the torture porn subgenre of horror. Dean Lockwood's article, All Stripped Down, the Spectacle of Torture Porn, draws similarities between horror and pornography. Both considered body genres, the label coined by Edelstein makes the connection more apparent. He claims the subgenre is more honest and full-on than previous horror, more blatantly akin to its pornographic cousin. Like Earle's article, Beth A. Cattleman discusses the effects of September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks on horror cinema in her article, Pornographic Culture, America and the Rise of Torture Porn Film. She, among many journalists and scholars, draws a connection between the American torture in Abu Ghraib and the torture porn subgenre. She raises the theory that Americans are appalled by the military torture and horror films show them that torture in a different, more acceptable context. Jared Waddell Hollyfield takes a look at both Hostel and Hostel Part 2 as a representation of America's ignorance of international affairs. He uses specific examples from the films to support his theory. Multiple articles, including Tukey's Yet Another Cheap Thrill of a Film That's Pure Torture, and Brodesser Acker's Why Torture Porn is the Hottest and Most Hatest Thing in Hollywood, discuss the outrage surrounding the posters used to market captivity. The poster design, which was banned by the Motion Picture Association of America, depicted the lead actress in 4 stages of attack in the film: capture, confinement, torture, and termination. Rebecca Winters Keegan's 2006 Time magazine article dubbed the following films the Splat Pack: the Saw films, the Hostel films, The Descent, The Hills Have Eyes remake, and The Devil's Rejects. She states the basic plotline of these films is that people are stuck somewhere and have to endure horrible things, or indeed do horrible things to each other to escape. She also quotes Darren Lynn Bossman, director of Saws 2, 3, and 4. The ideas start off in the real world, and then we take them beyond. She also brings up the theory that torture porn is starting to suffer from overkill. Like Keegan, Juarez's 2007 article, Blood in the Water, claims torture porn is losing its appeal. He states horror is indestructible and will eventually move on to a different subgenre to maim. Dr. Christopher Sherritt wrote a critical article titled The Problem with Saw, Torture Porn and the Conservatism of Contemporary Horror Film. As the title suggests, the article discusses the inaccuracies of the film and counters the idea that it and all torture porn is created in response to the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. According to my research, the following films will be key in the discussion of torture porn: the Hostel franchise, the Saw franchise, The Passion of the Christ, The Human Centipede First Sequence, The Human Centipede 2 Full Sequence, Hot Tension, Captivity, The Woman, The Hills Have Eyes remake, The Hills Have Eyes 2 remake, I Spit on Your Grave remake, The Devil's Rejects, and Wrong Turn. All or most of these films have been discussed in the articles within my research. The director's commentaries may produce more information regarding the subgenre as well.